Hey, everybody, welcome to the All Sports Matter podcast. We are here. We are ready to go. Today, we're going to be giving you some stuff about NBA free agency, NFL free agency, all the trades that's going down, and we're going to touch a little bit on baseball. So if y'all ready, we ready. Let's go ahead and rock it, fellas.
Shine through.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us at our new time of 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. Welcome to All Sports Matter. We are here to give you your weekly update on all of the things that's going on in sports this week. Let me introduce my guys, Mr. Two Belts, Poppy Ortiz, and this guy is fresh from Germany now, apparently. Mr. Raub is in the house. So, fellas, we see it's a whole lot happening in the NFL right now. We got a lot of people on the move. We got training camp getting ready to start. Are there any dominoes left to fall, you think, before training camp starts? And we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about before the season starts.
Are we not still waiting on what the heck is going to happen to Deshaun Watson?
Look, understand. Deshaun,
isn't that the biggest domino yet?
Biggest domino, yeah, I agree.
I call that a brick. I call that more of a brick than a domino.
I feel like it's a far-going conclusion that he's not playing this season. Now, I would like to see how many games Alvin Kamara is not going to play this year.
There's rumors coming out that Deshaun may only get 6 games.
Which would be a travesty if I ever seen one. When you got Calvin Ridley not even playing a game this year, and all he did was make a bet on a game that he wasn't even playing in.
Let me tell you something. So, Calvin Ridley texted me the other day and said, "I bet you right now, Deshaun Watson don't play no games." I don't know what he's doing, but he's still betting. I don't understand.
From all the insiders that we've have access to, it's looking more and more like he may only get 6 games. And I say only 6 games because, like Rob said, it would be a travesty if he plays at all this year.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. And we definitely we never look for people to be suspended, but when you out there doing travesties and you playing these stupid games, you deserve to win the stupid prizes. So you campaign for it, go ahead and serve.
The Texans just today settled with 30 different women.
30. That's a big
30. Like,
how crazy is that?
Like, what is going on?
I'm still blown away. I'm like, they settled with 30. That's crazy, bro.
I think at this point, every masseuse in America is about to get paid, whether they even met Deshaun Watson or not. I think, somebody out there could be like, well, I massaged a Deshaun. I don't know if he was the quarterback, but he didn't look right, and he'll get paid,
But
shout out to my boy BG. He just commented he liked Jacoby. Speaking of Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, somebody gonna have to like him because he about to be playing. Y'all better get him in fantasy.
You might as well go all in.
You have to like him by default, but BG's a 49er fan too. BG's
so him being a 49er fan.
He's from Ohio.
Let me flip the script. 1 second. Since he is a 49er fan, right? We're talking about BG and that dude that got the Pelicans look on his face.
Whoa.
How
so hateful.
What do you guys think of Garoppolo being traded to Cleveland.
Look, understand when Deshaun Watson first got traded to Cleveland.
It's go ahead. I'm sorry.
When Deshaun got traded to Cleveland, the first thing I said was enter Garoppolo because I knew there was going to be a suspension happening for Deshaun Watson.
But if Deshaun is only if the rumors are true and he only misses 6 games, there's no way they trade for Jimmy G, right? There's no way they trade for Jimmy G.
Because what they're going to ask for Jimmy G, you're going to give all of that just to have him for.
It's not gonna, man. It's gonna take a bag of Funyuns to get Jimmy G.
They not asking for nothing more than a third rounder. If they get a second rounder, they happy with that, but they not asking for nothing more than a third rounder.
You can offer the 49ers a bag of Funyuns right now, and they'll trade Jimmy G.
If you offer me a bag of Funyuns,
Mayfield just got traded for what, a conditional sixth to fifth rounder, and I'm pretty sure right now Cleveland they want is their money back on Progressive commercials. That's about it. You don't have to give them much of anything. Just send them Jimmy G. 49ers gonna be happy with that. I don't know why, because I'm not sold on Trey Lance, and that's another conversation we're gonna have down the line.
That's what I'm with. I'm with you on that one. So, I am not sold on Trey Lance.
I wouldn't be so quick to trade a guy.
Me neither.
But they ruffled those feathers already. They all season has been trade Jimmy G. Trade Jimmy G. The only person who's defended Jimmy G has been the coach. I give him that. He's like, hey, he took us to the playoffs.
John Lynch has to. John Lynch
and that's what he's supposed to. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, the whole organization is like, oh no, he got to go.
Shout out to Choate said leave Baker alone.
So let me tell you something. I give you 4 games into the season, and you're gonna be on the field ready to strangle Baker Mayfield.
Choate gonna be looking for Cam Newton to come back.
He also made the point that I tend to make in favor of Baker. He's better than what was already on the roster.
I mean, that wasn't hard to do.
Would you rather have Baker or Sam Darnold? Would you rather have Baker or Sam Darnold?
Honestly, I don't want neither one of them.
But if you had to choose between the two,
I go with Baker. I go with Baker. Honestly, I would have went got Mariota.
I go with Baker. I don't understand. Okay, the issue with Baker is everybody sees that cloud around him being the first overall pick. I said this time and time again. That's not Baker's fault. That's Cleveland's fault.
It's Cleveland.
They fell for it.
Cleveland should not have picked the number 1. He would have been there at 12.
He shouldn't have been picked number 1. He shouldn't have been picked number 1. I think that they had these sky high expectations.
Yeah,
of course.
That's not
to pick number 1. You're supposed to.
Baker is not a bad quarterback. Baker is not going to lose you the game. Baker ain't going to win you the game, but he ain't going to lose you the game either.
If he would have been picked in the middle of the first round to maybe the beginning of the second round, there would be a whole different narrative on him. It's only because he was picked number 1 that people are on him the way that they're on him.
They keep throwing that word bust around. He's not Jamarcus Russell. He's not Ryan Leaf.
Exactly.
This guy's competitive.
Jamarcus just said, if you go call him a bust, you better call him the greatest bust.
That's even worse, but he owns it though. He's owning it.
I give it to him. He owns it, but I mean, that's
what has he done? What has he done? I know Betts. That's Betts' thing. He likes to call, him a bust. What has he done?
This whole organization is a bust.
What has he done to warrant being called a bust?
The reason why people
other than not living up to the expectations that should have been played in the first place.
That's all. That's it.
He set the standard so high for himself because of the way he came in, so braggadocious and so confident in himself that he set himself for failure. He set himself up for it.
No, he's right about that, Rob.
But so did another quarterback that Cleveland also drafted that
Johnny Manziel
is a bust. Johnny Money Johnny, whatever he called himself.
And he was a bust. He was a bust.
That was a bust
in Canada. He a bust in Mexico, wherever the hell he had now.
That was a bust.
But let's go back. Think about this though. Did Johnny Manziel have the weapons in the offensive line that Baker Mayfield has?
Johnny Manziel didn't have the drive.
And he didn't, but he didn't have the weapons also.
Baker has way more drive.
Oh, no question.
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was entitled.
Of course.
I'll go that way with him.
Johnny Manziel was so bad that he tackled Jerry Jones before he picked up the phone and made that draft pick to draft him. 22 or whatever, 21 when they had him. That's how bad Manziel was. Jerry Jones was about to draft him. The entire organization was like, hold up. They unplugged the line. They knocked out the cell towers. He couldn't get that pick across the board fast enough. For some reason, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones was in love with Johnny Manziel. With that being said, Johnny Manziel wasn't in love with football. Baker Mayfield is. Baker Mayfield puts in the work when it comes to football. Just the talent doesn't line up with the number one pick of the world.
Exactly.
And that's the issue.
Really don't.
Exactly.
No, Rob's absolutely right.
He has the will and the drive to be a successful NFL quarterback. But
I just thought about it.
I think him going to Carolina was the best thing that's going to happen for his career. Because if he goes to Carolina and he plays like crap, then yeah, he's done. But I think he's going to go into Carolina with a chip on his shoulder, and
I think he'll be fine.
He's going to play some ball.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I think the best situation for him would have been Seattle.
Yes.
For
Baker.
Yeah. I think if Baker would have went to Seattle
with
a player coach like Pete Carroll, I think he could have been truly successful.
I think that West is going to be a beast, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think that West, like, I think the NFC South is it's not as strong as the West is right now. I mean, we can all agree on that. I mean,
no question. Yeah,
the Rams, Cardinals, or the Niners, any of those three can win that division, and we wouldn't be surprised.
The West is going to be one of the.
I'll be surprised if Niners won that division.
Why would you be surprised?
See, they don't even know who their quarterback is.
I have done nothing but love you, sir. Why are you always on the Niners like this?
I have to rebut that statement.
He
literally said nobody would be surprised. Hold on, sorry, let me go back. And I quote, nobody would be surprised if the 49ers won a division. End quote. Yeah. Yes, the hell we will.
But I'm proving my point is if the Falcons win the NFC South, we'll be surprised. If the Panthers win the NFC South, we'd be surprised.
Yes.
If the Saints win the NFC South, I'd definitely be surprised. Because if the Saints win the NFC,
the Saints is one game away from the playoffs.
If the Saints win 6 games this year, I'm gonna be surprised.
What I'm saying is 49ers has a lot of issues. Nobody believes in Trey Lance.
Who don't?
The whole team believes in
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
No, they don't.
The eye of the beholder. The eye test will tell you Trey Lance is not that dude.
He's not ready.
Trey Lance played in 2 games last year. 7 games in the last 2 years.
Somebody believes in Trey Lance if Jimmy D is rumored to be traded. Somebody other than I ain't gonna say the 4 of us because one of us believes in it, but the 3 of us, somebody believes in Trey Lance.
Well, I'm put it like this:
Trey Lance. Don't make me
Jimmy G get on that field. If Jimmy G get on the field and he balls, and they make the playoffs again, all the confidence y'all have in Trey Lance is gonna go out the window.
Let me tell you something. I have confidence in a quarterback going on the field and winning. I don't give a damn if it's number 2, number 10, or number 5. If you go on the field and win, you go on the field and win.
Didn't Jimmy G go on the field to win though?
He did.
And
I'm not the one of the people out here saying trade Jimmy G. If you go out there on the field and win, you go out there on the field and win. He's not a bad quarterback. He does make bad decisions, and he's very slow in his progressions. Trey Lance will come in and bring another element with his legs. He can get away from stuff. Now, last year he didn't do that so well, but they were trying to plug him in and change the entire offense up. You can't do that. You have a quarterback that's doing something different from the quarterback that you had in there. You need to play something to his strengths and to his talents. Stop trying to just
Trey
stop
Lance,
doing cookie cutter stuff.
Trey Lance looked like the first half of the Any Given Sunday movie with Willie Beeman. The first half of the movie, Willie Beeman didn't know what was going on. He was throwing up, and he was like he had the giraffe legs and was everywhere.
Right. And what happened at
you guys better hope that he turns to the second half of the movie.
He need to get that tunnel vision.
We haven't seen that yet.
We gotta have Jimmy G.
Go back to the original statement.
You gotta have
Jimmy G on his shoulder if they won a division next season.
Well, see, y'all talking about these divisions, and we go talk about all these divisions starting next week. The question I have right now, and it's for y'all too out there in internet world. what's the worst division in football right now?
Oh, you just said it.
Hey, we talked about
We
this.
already said
We
it.
talked about this behind the scenes of
y'all-
baseball show.
But I'm gonna wait.
Like,
But I'm gonna wait. I want to see what
I
everybody
know
else
what
says.
y'all think.
Yeah.
I want to see what they say because
okay.
I have some real strong thoughts on the NFC North.
Hey, don't you start throwing out.
No,
Don't
don't
do
you do
that. Don't do that.
Don't you do
Are
that.
we allowed to answer that, or we gotta wait?
No, we're not gonna answer
We're
it.
gonna
We're gonna let some of our viewers.
I got a
chime
Cowboys
in
fan.
first. I'm gonna
I got
read
a
some of the
Cowboys
comments
fan in the
that
thing already talking about the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, but and
I'm
then
gonna
he
read
hating on
some
the
of the
NFC
comments
West.
that we missed.
That's why that's why they're the most hated fan base in
Cowboys.
America.
I'm gonna
And
read
in
some
England.
I'm gonna read some of the comments.
And in
that we
England,
missed.
he said England.
Harding said if Baker was in the right system, he'd be fine. But anybody is set up to lose when it comes to the Browns. He took what was given to him and changed it up. Still not a great quarterback, but he would be a quality quarterback in the right system. I agree. Bet said, "What's up, fellas?" Tito said, "Y'all laughing at the Niners a little too hard." What is wrong with your brother, Jim?
I'm about to get him, Tito. Don't worry about it.
Super Bowl by 14. Stop it, Derek. Stop it.
Let me tell you something about him.
Hold up.
So when we was
Bet
young,
said they took
I had
Trey
tripped him
Lance
down the
number 3.
stairs.
They
So
gotta
that's
play
my
him.
fault.
They gotta play him. They sent Jimmy G home. BG said you can't believe the trade rumors. Harding coaches wanted Jimmy G. Lionel Garoppolo, all right to me though. Tito 50-50 with me, but I don't want Jimmy. That's he was carried by a really good defense. He's a bus driver.
He hit that right on the head for me. I'm sorry.
All right,
I co-signed that one.
So now back to
you
what
can
we
say
were
the same
talking
thing about Tony
Worst
Romo
division.
too, though.
Worst division. We
didn't go
back to
nowhere.
what we were talking about. Worst division, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You
ahead.
already start trying to steer the people.
I thought you
Go
was
ahead.
reading the comments.
Oh, you want me to read the comments? Okay, my bad.
I-
Harding said the NFC East.
This dude.
Lionel just said the worst. Derek said the NFC West. Betts said the NFC South. I agree. Tito said the Giants. Derek, New York sucks. Betts said they're hated because people like Amir talk about them more than his own team.
Who hated
I
the
haven't mentioned
Cowboys?
He talking about the Cowboys.
I mentioned Jerry Jones.
Harding said any division with a New York team is the worst division.
Oh,
Wait, whoa. Ain't his
Ooh.
division, though he got the Patriots playing the Jets? Who's the New York Jets? That's how dumb they are up
And
there.
Buffalo.
Division
And
is
That's how
Buffalo
dumb
is
they
in
are
this
up
division.
there. Y'all said they
And
couldn't
Buffalo is
read
in this
until
division.
they Googled the worst division, and the Patriots came up, and he retorted with, I hate New York. Good job, David. It took you 48 hours to figure out a comeback.
He
Look,
said
he-
any
he-
division with the New York team is the worst.
Look, here
He
go
has
Betts
two.
though.
He has two.
He does. Look, here go Betts. Every team in the NFC East has chips. Here we go with this 10,
Here we
20
go
year
with
ago
it.
thing.
But then
The
I'm
team
like,
in Washington didn't even have a name until last year. Until
Oh,
they
Lord.
may not have an owner if they don't stop.
Let me tell you something. I'd much rather the Washington football team than the Commanders. That's just ridiculous. Who allowed this to happen?
Lionel said AFC North, to be honest.
They
Okay.
love to hate
Oh,
us. Number
no.
one
Okay,
team
so
in
let's get
America.
into
What
it.
we're
Let's
not
get
gonna
into
do-
it from let us get into
Look,
it now.
These lies
Yeah.
about the AFC North, let's cut this out right now.
But he's a Steelers fan. So,
These are lies.
He's
We are
talking
the
about his own
best.
division.
Only the NFC
Oh.
East beat the Pats.
All right, so Jim,
Yeah.
who's the worst division?
Well, come back to me because I'm deep in thought. I have
Because
other thoughts.
you started giving your answer before.
Well, all right. So I have some very strong reservations about the AFC North, right?
the AFC North. It
Yes,
was the
the
NFC
Yes.
North last
He
night.
said AFC North.
I said AFC North last night because they trash. But I'm gonna have to defer to the NFC South because the NFC South is they used to be what it was, and then they had a couple of guys in black and gold retired, and then this one guy came down from New England, and he turned the world upside down. Then they got another dude that was still in crab legs that went to the Saints, but he was terrible, and nobody knows what's happening in Carolina. And Atlanta is they still gave up a 28-3 lead. So I'm gonna go with the NFC South.
Amir, who you got?
It's easy. Okay, it's easy to go up against the NFC South. Easy. Tom Brady got lost on his way to Disneyland and ended up in Tampa Bay. Got it. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Ridley went to go bet on horses and was like, "Oh, I'll take the Falcons," and now he's out for a year. I get it. The Saints are still going over Bounty Gate, where they gave that actor in that movie, which is a cute movie. They focus more on Netflix special than they don't playing football. Got it. That leaves who? The Carolina Panthers. Right now they're gonna film a whole year of Progressive commercials. No, I don't want to focus on the NFC South. So I would like to take the easy way out of that and say if you eliminate Aaron Rodgers out of the NFC North, nobody will know who plays in that division.
That's true.
I would go that route. I would go that route. Now I get it. Vikings got a crap ton of talent, but they lose every other game. It makes them a 500 team.
They don't have a quarterback.
I'm sorry.
But when you got the talent, doing his thing though.
When you got the talent of Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, you know, Dalvin Cook, and you losing every other game, I'm done talking about you. Right? They got traded them twice in fantasy. Vikings is not sustainable. They're only good every other game. I don't even know who the other two team is. Detroit Lions, Bears. Oh my! I don't care.
So for me, the Lions last year. I'm speaking strictly on last year. They were competitive in dang near every game. Like they lost like 6 games on last second field goals. Like they were competitive in every freaking. Dan Campbell got them boys playing.
I get it. And the Saints was 1 game away from going to the playoffs.
They just couldn't get over the hump. You know,
I get it. What I'm saying is, nobody talks about it. I'm with you. I like the way the Lions finished out last year. I like the way Justin Fields played every third game. You know, he showed he had some flashes of talent. They just didn't have any weapons around them. David Montgomery kept getting hurt. I understand that. But you take away Aaron Rodgers out of that division, nobody knows who plays for the Packers at all.
That's true, especially since Devontae gone.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that division is so boring. Like, it's like
arguably a top 5 running back.
Cool.
Right, but and like Bet said, one good team don't make a good division.
And he's splitting carries.
And how good is he going to be this year when no Devontae and no Valdez?
Right. And you know,
all I'm saying is that division is boring. ASF. That's it.
That's true.
That's
also, Fleck, you forgot to check the comments on YouTube. We have somebody said the Cowboys division is the weakest, even if they change division. So I'm guessing they're talking about the Cowboys.
They must have read my mind.
All right, so
the Bets are Kevin Durant.
Who you got, Rob? I
am literally torn because I am literally trying to decide which is worse. Is it the NFC East or the South?
See, for me, like that would be an easy decision for me.
It's not your turn. He's thinking. Give him a minute. Give him a minute. Jeez.
I'm trying to put it. I'm literally trying, but I got to go with the South. The South is horrible. That is a horrible division, and I'm trying to put them above the East because the East is pretty trash as well. But yeah, no, like it's basically like you put Mike Tyson in a daycare and told him to go ahead and tell the kids, go ahead and fight for your life against that dude right there in his prime. And Tyson just out there knocking everybody the F out. Basically, that's what Tom Brady's about to do. He's about to knock everybody out like Mike Tyson, and the rest of the little kids are just going to be on the ground crying. Because
we had All Sports Matter do not condone.
Well, we do not condone child abuse. And we are not trying to have kids hurt, but
didn't the Saints beat Brady twice last year?
No, they did it once.
They did it once. I thought they split.
Yeah, they split last year.
And I don't think they're gonna split this year, especially with no Kamara.
They beat them with Jameis and didn't with Taysom. So
yeah, and then with no Kamara this year, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna happen again. Lord. So yeah, it's the South. The South is putrid. It is a putrid division.
NFC the worst conference? No, the NFC not the worst conference. The AFC have one good division.
Tino said, "Rob, your fantasy team play in the South."
You're a real cupcake for that. Look, we both play in the same division in the fantasy football. Because as I remember, you're right above me, sir. So yeah, no, that's no good. We both trash. So yeah, they need to disband that division until they can get some people in there.
They just need to redistribute the divisions.
Yeah, realign.
They got all the power on the West. NFC and AFC West are the powerhouses, and everybody else just kind of.
How the Cowboys on the East Coast?
Lives.
I'm in Texas.
I
would love to go visit my East Coast family, but I'm in Texas.
Understand that? Yeah. How did that even work out? Like,
how's Carolina NFC South? Why are they not NFC East? They own the East Coast.
That's just made my point. Why I think the NFC South is the worst division. Kamara's gonna be gone. He's not playing. Carolina, you got Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield.
Somebody.
We don't know what's and CMC he got hurt opening up his laptop. So we don't know.
He got hurt when he saw Baker Mayfield got traded. He was reading.
So we don't know what's going on here. The Falcons are who they are. I think the Falcons could be the worst team in the NFL this year.
Probably.
Prime candidates to be the number one to get the number one pick next year. And I mean, you have Tampa Bay, who could possibly win another Super Bowl. I say the NFC South. That's my pick. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the East. I can't pick the East because everybody out. I mean,
why the Jets an NFL team? That
who said that?
The Jets got better talent than the Patriots do this season.
Harding said that. But, yeah, I say the NFC South. That's my. And if Matt Ryan hadn't went to the Colts, even though my Titans play in this division, the AFC South is like a strong number 2 because of the Jags.
For the trash.
Now, one question:
the Jags and the Texans. I mean,
and the Nashville team.
Oh, question. Before we move on and talk about anything else, one domino piece that we still have not talked about. What's going on with OBJ?
That's a good question.
He's been
throwing out hints on social media. I mean, I think he's been trolling.
That's what I saw.
First, he had his son in a Colts jersey.
Yeah,
that was first.
He king of the trolls.
Him and Von Miller had some back and forth going on about Buffalo.
About coming to Buffalo. That's why I was like, what is going on right now?
OBJ is king of the trolls because you saw what he did with the whole Debo situation, where he talking about he got the tea on what's going on with Debo, and Debo had to come and shut him down, but like, no, you don't. I don't even talk to you. What are you talking about?
But why are you mentioning my name?
I think he ends back up with the Rams. Once his knee is a little more healthy, I think he's back.
And that's exactly what it is. They waiting on him to get healed up. He ain't healed up. I'm not about to sign you to no money, to no Bitcoin, as it were, because he ended up getting paid less than I did last year because of his Bitcoin dip. So
who do you think he ultimately signs with? And I'm asking everybody out there in all sports matter land too. Who do you guys think he ultimately signs with?
If he's smart, he stays where he's at.
Yeah, I
wouldn't leave the Rams.
Look,
I would not leave.
You got the Rams out there, but also if he's really smart, he waits. I'm not trying to sign with nobody right now. I'm waiting because everybody knows what's gonna happen in week 2 through 4. People get hurt. People go start getting hurt, and they go start needing the receiver, and they go call him. Or you go have places like Green Bay, because I saw somebody say Green Bay in the comments. You have somebody like Green Bay who missing the Devontae Adams, and they need a big power name.
I'm going to tell you why I don't think he's going to go to Green Bay. He declined to go to Green Bay when they had Devontae.
Right.
That's because they had Devontae.
Yeah. But he went to the Rams where they had, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you had Robert Wood and you had
he chose to go to LA. Odell chose to go to LA for his works outside of football.
Right.
Got me to answer that question. I believe he sounds a progressive because progressive had dropped Baker Mayfield as a person of interest for the commercials, and I believe Odell step in just fine do those commercials up until it's time for him to play with the Rams again.
And, and honestly, I can see because there's a lot of people down here in New Orleans talking about Odell coming home. His best friend from college is with the Saints. I said Odell not about to leave Los Angeles to come to no damn New Orleans. Are y'all crazy?
Big Hawk said the Titans. Nah, he ain't coming to Nashville.
Yeah,
a couple people say he's in Tampa.
Don't nobody want to play with Tannehill.
That's what I was just about to say. Until
I'm a
Tannehill get out of there, ain't nobody
talking about the Cowboys then reached out. I don't foresee that, but I mean, maybe Dak, they got Dak out there teaching the children how to do the little hip thrust. So
Harding said Tampa Bay. Nah, I don't. Tampa Bay already got a receiver that they're waiting to get back from, an injury.
Godwin gets back, slot him in there with Goodwin. Yeah, they're fine. Tampa Bay is fine.
Well,
it's not going. I don't see him in Tampa Bay.
And they took the only viable wide receiver that Atlanta had outside of Calvin Ridley engaged and brought him down to Tampa already. So
right. I don't see him in Tampa Bay.
Atlanta could take a shot at him because they ain't got nobody.
I said the Titans need him, man. We do need receivers, but
yes, they do.
But we already got a receiver
gave up AJ
that we're
Brown,
waiting, to see how his knee gonna hold up. We got Robert Woods to see how his knee. They're not. Yeah, he. I would be totally shocked if he ended up with the Titans. I would be totally. Shocked. I don't see that happening.
What's going on with Seattle? I mean, they got DK up there, but did DK resign yet? Did he get another contract?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
No, he's still on his regular contract. He's not a free agent. He just
he's not a free agent.
He's still a rookie.
He's still on his rookie,
right?
His extension. So is he happy up there? And do you try to bring somebody else in to further make him happy until you get that contract to him?
But who are they going to bring in? Who are you suggesting?
Do you bring an Odell in?
Nah.
Okay.
Odell's not playing week 1. He's not going to be available week 1.
He's not.
You might not see Odell until week 5, 6 at the earliest.
Right. I'm just asking.
Seattle they're not going to be contending. We can all agree on that. They're not going to be They're not going to be in the playoff hunt.
Hey,
OBJ's not going to that. He had Baker Mayfield throwing to him. Do you think he wants to go to Drew Lock throwing to him?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Odell Beckham is not. Nobody's about to sign Odell to a 3-year deal coming off an injury at his age.
No.
He go get a good 1-year deal, and he go get a prove me deal, and go with it like that. So
I think he only takes a 1-year prove me deal. I
don't see this comment on the screen here, but I can see it on our live stream, and it said Lionel says he could do a sneak move to the Denver Broncos,
and that's
or Baltimore.
Or Baltimore, and I'm gonna leave Baltimore after Baltimore. We already know Baltimore no sign no wide receivers. That's why they mentioned
Denver's already deep.
Well, let's say
and that's where Odell wants to go. Odell, he knows he's not the number 1.
He don't want to be the number 1.
He knew when he went to the Rams.
And if he
was going to be number 3.
If he goes to the Broncos, he's going to be a number 4.
No,
really?
They got Tim Patrick, they got Cortland Sutton, and they got Jerry.
He's better than Patrick.
Behind all 3 of them.
He's better than Patrick.
But he's not going to be available until week 5.
He's not going to be available.
That's okay.
If you want to be
the number 3 receiver, go to the Raiders.
The only way that makes sense is if one of those 3 get hurt.
And that's okay. We got, like I said, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, like you said, Tim Patrick, and I'm pretty sure they got somebody else that tight end with a long ass name. I forgot. He's a good tight end.
Noah Fant. Not Noah Fant.
Still.
Yeah, he went to Seattle.
Yeah, they because they believe in that dude with that long name as a tight end. They got weapons, and that's where Odell wants to go. Odell wants to go with weapons, and it's only going to be a 1-year contract. But keep saying 3 years. It's not going to be 3 years.
And that's what I'm saying. If you
go to KC before he goes to Denver.
But that's what I'm saying. If Odell in a situation like that where he don't want to be the number 1, he cool being the number 3. Do you see him going to somewhere like Oakland, or not Oakland, Las Vegas?
Las Vegas?
No, because he would be a 4.
Who's the 3rd?
Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Devontae Adams.
We're not talking about tight ends. We're just talking about the wide receivers.
But he's talking about offense.
You have to.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I could see him going.
You can't talk about Kansas City's offense without saying Kelsey.
I could see him going to Las Vegas. Las Vegas would be perfect for him, honestly, because he would be able to blend in.
Fly under the radar in Las Vegas.
He'd fly under the radar. There wouldn't be a lot asked of him in Las Vegas. And 6 games,
Odell's going to
be
go
fine with him.
where he can grow his brand. Las Vegas is a name to grow his brand. Las Vegas is a name.
Yeah, exactly.
LA, you know what I'm saying? These big market teams is where we're going to see Odell Beckham play next season. We're not going to see him in Tennessee. We're not going to see him in Buffalo. We're not. He's going big market teams, and that's it. Because Odell is all about his brand.
You're trying to stay in the Los Angeles type area.
I think he goes, and that's why for me, I think he ends back up with the Rams. I mean, it makes sense off and on the field for him.
Now, would the Chargers be? Would the Chargers be?
That's what I'm saying. The Chargers are another option because do they have money though?
That's the other question. Do they have some money?
Like they
and he don't need a lot of money.
He don't need a lot of money. He take the vet minimum.
Yeah,
he'd take the vet
minimum.
minimum.
I just named every team in the AFC West, but where do you fit him in on the Chargers?
On the slot, you got Williams.
You
got Williams and Keenan Allen. Who else?
Just put him right in the slot.
He was on the slot. He was on the slot with the Rams.
Austin Eckler, the running back.
The running back.
Yeah, Eckler catches 80 balls a year.
Okay, but
that's because they had a lack of offensive line, and he had to just drop it off.
Right. But that's Eckler's game, is what I'm saying.
No,
he's still coming out the backfield. You line Odell up in the slot,
and that's okay. San Diego, formerly San Diego, is not a bad team to fall under. Also, that's
right.
And it's in LA. So that's not a bad.
But that's something that's another domino left to fall. But
and they also got the what's the boy the really fast guy Guyton. Guyton's playing in the slot for him.
I did forget about Guyton. All right, so I mean it could be a viable option. You never know. Somebody go get hurt. It's bound to happen. I don't wish nobody any danger or hurt or harm in the NFL, but it's going to happen because we saw what happened. The Jets likes to murder people. Jets and Giants, because I forgot the Giants play that too. Apparently, they like to murder people. But we was talking about Odell, and somebody brought up the Ravens. So let's talk about the Ravens, shall we? Big Raub. I saw earlier this week that your quarterback was involved in a keyboard conversation with a former safety.
Sure, right. Bernard Pollard.
What was transpiring, sir?
So apparently Pollard believes that the Ravens cannot get quality wide receivers to come to Baltimore due to the fact that we have Lamar Jackson as the quarterback, not the fact that we have offensive coordinators who do not scheme for wide receivers to get enough passes to validate them getting, those mega contracts and whatnot, and maximizing Lamar's potential. He blamed it more on the fact that he believes because Lamar is a quote unquote run first quarterback, that's the reason why. And Lamar responded appropriately and let it be known that, dude, I don't even know who you are.
Right, and that's how he should have responded. Y'all still have Greg Roman over there, right?
Yes, Greg Roman is still the offensive coordinator.
So Greg Roman, for those of y'all out there who don't know, but this is a sports page, so I'm sure y'all know, he was the person who brought Colin Kaepernick to prominence. He was the reason why Colin Kaepernick was successful when he was with San Francisco. As soon as Greg Roman left and went to Baltimore, they changed the offense, and Colin Kaepernick became a pocket passer, and we saw what happened when that happened. So if you have a offensive coordinator and that's what they do, they come in and they say, I have a running quarterback, so I'm going to make it to where my quarterback runs. How can you get mad at that? Also, how often did what's his name? Bernard Pollard, Barry Pollard, what's his name?
Pollard.
Why
is how often did he play? I don't recall his name.
Why is that even a story?
It really shouldn't be. He's one of those individuals who was a former player for the Ravens who likes to say a lot of things that are more tongue-in-cheek than most players. He's very controversial in his approach, but he's not part of the Ring of Honor that is Baltimore. So he was on the team when we won the Super Bowl. Made some contributions, but
so was Trent Dilfer.
Let me tell you something. I watched that Super Bowl. I was very upset at that Super Bowl. I did not see him or hear his name called not one time.
Not one time
during that Super Bowl.
No,
I watched the entire thing. I was upset. But
the fact that he would take that path It's very weird to me. He tried to clean it up later and said that he thinks Lamar is a top 10 performer in the NFL, but not a top 10 quarterback. That's tomfoolery. Like, cut it out. Stop it. Like, keep that to yourself, guy.
I don't even know why that's a story.
You're right. It's not a story.
The biggest story for me coming out of Baltimore is why haven't they given that another contract?
Right. It wasn't a story. That was what we in the industry like to call filler. So what we're gonna do now, we're switching gears. Let's talk about basketball, fellas.
There you go.
What we got going on? First, before we do anything, do you think Kevin Durant is going to get traded?
Negative. And I say it out loud in my man voice. No, he'll be right where he's at. And
what other voice do you got?
I know, right?
I've never heard a different voice come out of that face. I've never heard.
And I'm sitting here like, guy, nobody's going to trade and give Brooklyn what they're asking for. You're not. I'm sorry. It's not happening, guy. So you might as well get comfy. You got your contract, and I get it. Like Kyrie, I don't think he's going anywhere, honestly. Because the team that you want to go to, what are you going to get in trade? Russell Westbrook? No. Like Kevin Durant wants to play with Russell Westbrook again. No. So it's not happening. So good luck with that. You might as well go ahead and get comfy. You're in Brooklyn, buddy. That's where you're going to be at.
Right. Brooklyn, like crime
time.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Shag Asbar.
Like you said it perfectly, Rob. I more than believe. I got analysts left or right. You know, I'm reading, and everything states they're either both gone or they're both staying. You're not going to play, because the only option is right now is a lock that Kyrie goes to LA. But the issue is they can't just bring Westbrook into Brooklyn to play with KD. So KD was like, no, either we both go or we both stay. Now, all signs are pointing to they're both staying because Kyrie already openly said the other day, we'll make it work. We'll be fine in Brooklyn. The last reports that came out the last couple of days is the Nets already said, nobody's meeting their price for Durant. We're going to make it work. So all signs as of this past week is both guys will stay in Brooklyn, and they're going to give it a go. And I'm telling you now, it's you got a top 5 player in KD, you got a top 5 point guard in Kyrie, when available, obviously, and that's not a bad two to say we're just gonna have to make it work. What do you mean? That's a championship caliber team. It's just the egos have to get casted away. And Fleck made a very great point. I remember it was yesterday or last week or through our many conversations that we have daily. But if they stay, it's quite possible that Steve Nash goes. I believe if somebody's going to have to be the scapegoat of the mess
setting it up.
That is Brooklyn.
They already setting that up.
Yeah, that's Brooklyn. So I believe they stay. I agree. Not that I don't think Nash doing a bad job, but when you got 2 superstars, you don't really have to coach much. But personalities clash, obviously. And Steve Nash will be on the way out.
Right. And what Ben Simmons are they going to get this year?
I think the biggest hurdle to KD being traded happened last night, actually. And it had nothing to do with KD directly. Was DeAndre Ayton's contract getting the Suns matching the offer sheet for DeAndre Ayton from the Pacers.
Yep.
I think that took them and one of his destinations totally out of the picture, because now you can't trade Ayton. You can't sign and trade him now because you matched that offer sheet. So he can't go anywhere before, like, I think it was January the 15th.
Right.
So he's not and that was, one of the big pieces, that was being floated around, him being signed and traded to the Pacers to get KD to Phoenix. I mean, it was, complicated. You need a PhD to understand how all that worked, but I think that knocked. I mean, who else at this point can even put together a package worth Brooklyn even, considering it. So like Amir said, I think they're both. I mean, Amir and Rob said, I think they're both stuck in Brooklyn now.
I don't believe they're going anywhere. What they need to do right now is figure out what Ben Simmons they go get and just get to work.
At this point, Ben Simmons is what Ben Simmons is. I mean, you already know what you're going to get.
And
you're going to get some elite level defense and no offense.
Right.
I don't know what a mean layup now.
I don't know what they
mean
when he takes it.
Right. I don't know
the layups aren't the problem
in Australia, but they teach defense, but not
that's not
the layups ain't the problem.
Out of Philly.
Look, the layups ain't the problem.
Dunk.
Well, no, the layups aren't the problem. The problem is when we need a 20-foot jumper or a 3-pointer, you ain't getting that, brother.
But Brooklyn knew they wasn't getting that when they traded for him.
They know. But like Amir said it. He makes a mean layup now. He'll make a mean ass layup.
When
you need a jumper, you ain't getting that, brother.
No. He makes a mean layup when he takes it.
You get that finger roll.
He got skipped out of Philly for not taking a layup.
He got to be ultra wide open with nowhere near him to take that layup. I'm just saying, but
yeah, he was staying still if you need him to shoot a jumper.
Said send Westbrook to Brooklyn and ship Kyrie ass to LA. That's not gonna happen.
It ain't never gonna happen.
Harden said they'll be fine. Just need to walk to the end of the flat world and back.
Wow.
John Marshall said championship caliber ? They need some additions. What we saw in that Boston series versus a future NBA Finals team, we'll see what Simmons gives them.
Now, can I address that really quick? That comment, he's not wrong. John Marshall, you're not wrong. I just want to address that comment really quickly. With that being said, that team that the Nets had at the end of the season defeated themselves. Yes, Boston spanked the crap out of them. That goes without saying. But it wasn't the same team going into the season that was in that playoffs. They spent the latter of 2-3 weeks being in the playing tournament, battling the spots to play there. They lost Joe Harris. They didn't know if Marcus Aldridge was going to come back or not. Kyrie, is he going to show up today? Is he going to play tomorrow? KD played like KD, but he was alone. They traded Harden for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons wasn't available. What I'm saying is, on paper, that roster is championship caliber. They just can never play together, be on the court together, do anything together, and that was the issue. Boston Celtics and their fans are happy that they spanked this team, got them out. Cool, high five, good job. But that's not what it is. The eye test will tell you they played against the Harlem Globetrotters, bench players, because the starters weren't there. KD did it by himself and willed that team long enough to get them to lose to Boston. They didn't beat nobody because they weren't there.
So is that KD? So do you think that's KD's main motivation for wanting to get out of Brooklyn now?
No, his motivation was
doing it by himself.
His motivation was like everybody else's. In the league, out the league, nobody wants to play with Kyrie. That's his motivation.
He wanted to play with he did. But then he did.
Ted.
He did, exactly.
Right. He said nobody wants to play with Kyrie. He wanted to play with Kyrie. That's why they both agreed to go to Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Now he sees what everybody saw before that hey.
So you get
an angry
team
on this dude.
If this team shows up top to bottom, we're talking about returning the injuries off on NBA 2K23. We're talking about nobody's going to miss a game. This team shows up top to bottom, they're going to be hard to beat. That's what I'm saying now. Championship caliber team.
But
I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but they're going to be there.
That's if Ben Simmons shooting his
Harden
layup.
made my point, though. What's the best ability again?
What I just said, you turn off the injuries. You turn off
but
the personal reasons.
That's not real life.
I get that.
You still gotta have Ben Simmons shooting it.
My comment is on paper, top to bottom, they're a championship caliber team.
No, they don't need Ben Simmons to shoot. Okay, I'm gonna play the hypothetical game with Amir. If everybody's on the court, happy, all they need Ben Simmons to do is play elite level defense like he's accustomed to, and be a distributor like he's accustomed to. Because you still got Joe Harris, who's been injured himself. That's a knockdown shooter. You got KD, who's top 3 in the league, and you got Kyrie, who's the top 5 point guard in the league when he plays.
So
when he plays.
So if Kyrie is a top 5 point guard, why we haven't Ben Simmons distributing the ball? That's another question.
Because that's been
2011. Why the hell he a point guard?
No, I said it when Brooklyn traded for him. If y'all remember, in our many conversations, I said when Brooklyn traded for Ben Simmons, why? And at the time, it was because KD could not. I mean, not KD. I'm sorry. It's because Kyrie could not play in Brooklyn.
But he had the mental
KD
block.
could play with Harden. Harden KD game are exactly the same.
I'm saying as far as why they traded for Ben Simmons.
Kyrie and Harden.
You traded for Simmons, and Simmons had the mental block, so he still couldn't play because the mental block was causing his back spasms.
But he was supposed to only be out like a game or two after he got to Brooklyn.
Right.
I mean,
but then like you said, his back started hurting because
his whole squad is soft.
Yeah, that's
on
true,
the personal side. We're talking about we're talking about personalities. They're all soft, personal wise. We're talking about skill wise. The championship caliber. Yeah, the issue is they can't get to that team because on the personal side, takes it all the way over, and it's a shame.
It's a reason they made it to the NBA, but right now they not using what they got. They had a question in there. Somebody said, okay, they're trying to throw it. Wayne Bama trying to throw it back to football. He asking, should the Cowboys trade for Debo? No.
We passed that on. We'll talk about that next week. But next week we'll talk about that.
They said poor Ben Simmons don't get no love from those sports shows. Let me tell you something about Ben Simmons. We'll give Ben Simmons love as soon as Ben Simmons start giving himself love. Stop doing this dumb stuff that you're doing and play basketball. That's all you gotta do. That's it. He gonna shoot. He just waiting on the right look at the basket. That's true. He waiting on nobody to be under that. It's gonna be a one on nobody, and then he might shoot it. You're right. He a point forward. I guess the Nets just need to get really good. Need to get a really good therapist to help. Stop moving. Stop commenting while I'm reading because I can't.
They need Dr. Oz. Well, not Dr. Oz. Get what's the name? Dr. Phil.
Just don't go get no massage therapist. Get a head therapist.
No, please don't get no massage therapist.
Get a psychiatrist.
Or Phil Jackson will be good.
Get the Zen master.
The Zen master.
Tell him no weed involved though. You got to tell Phil no weed involved because he will bring the weed.
Well, it's legal in the NBA to smoke weed, so they might need it.
They might need it. That might be good for him, honestly. Yeah, good point.
So we, let's switch gears real quick, one quick time, because that we can go all day on that. Y'all see Fleck wearing the hat. You see Amir wearing the hat. You see, I got my hat that I'm about to put on like this because it flipped up. Next week is the All-Star game in the MLB. We got the National League versus the American League. Who y'all think go take some stuff? Now they do have some real nice uniforms. I wasn't about to pay all that money to get a uniform. I did.
Oh man, that jersey is nice.
The hat is real nice.
That's out of my tax bracket, but that jersey's nice.
We know Mr. Yankee. I feel like he's sponsored by the Yankees, so they just send him stuff when they get it. So he not really buying that stuff, y'all. He that's why he have all the stuff every time they get something.
I guess we got a few minutes left. Biggest all-star snub.
Freddie
Freeman. And I think that's everybody.
Fleck can't say his name no more.
I know, it hurts saying it.
I still got love for Freddie.
Look, don't be mad at Freddie because his agent
this ain't no Alabama A, bro. This is the Braves. This is the Braves.
Don't be mad at Freddie because his agent decided not to give him the information.
No, he's talking about mine probably because I got on Alabama.
That's my uncle. He trolling me.
No, he messed with you.
He trolling me.
Freddie Freeman, former agent, now he trying to sue people because he got fired.
So all of y'all say, and you already know I'm gonna be a homer. Austin Riley, man, how is he not in the All-Star game?
He is an All-Star game. I told you yesterday. He picked it as a backup to a backup.
He's a backup to a backup.
I told you I put an asterisk by his name.
He's there.
What do you mean? Was that?
I don't know.
That means
backup. What's that?
That's
the first
that's
time.
Atlanta
If somebody was to not show up, we'll give you a call.
That's
Somebody ain't showing up.
Why is that? Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because he's an Atlanta Brave.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, he is not better than Manny Machado or Nolan Arenado. That's why.
He's not.
But
that's why.
With Bryce Harper being injured, why couldn't he go in as a DH?
They picked up the DH.
Who?
Contreras' brother.
Yeah, he's the starter. You still gotta have a.
But he wasn't supposed to be though.
He was supposed to be the backup.
He was supposed to be
you wanted
backup.
him to be the.
He got selected as a backup and got put in as a starter. You were Atlanta Braves fan and never satisfied.
Austin, nobody in the NL outside of Kyle Schwarber has more home runs than Austin Riley, right? How's he? How?
He's
okay, I don't have a point.
I'm saying he's in there. Okay, all around players. Unfortunately, it's not like the NBA that says you get to elect 5 guards, 5 forwards, 3 centers. No, you get to elect 2 third basemen, and there's 2 third basemen better than Austin Riley. That's what I'm telling you. And this is not Atlanta hate. He is not better than Manny Machado and Nolan Arenado. Those are facts.
I just won't put that out there. I hate Atlanta.
Well, my argument is not about that. That's another subject. I'm just saying he was brought on because another player couldn't make it, and they brought him in. Of course, they were looking at him, but you got to fill the positions by position, not because he's an infielder. They got to fill it. That's what makes the Major League Baseball All-Star Game prestigious in a sense, because they just don't bring in players just because. Now, with that being said, they do bring in players just because they need somebody to fill in every team. So I know my argument makes sense on both sides, but Austin Riley wasn't it.
It's better than the Pro Bowl, I'll tell you that.
They need to get rid of the Pro Bowl if they don't clean it.
Why is the Pro Bowl still there?
I'm telling you, what they need to do
is flag football.
I'm sorry that because the world champion. You know what? All right, John.
They said what they said.
I'm
that's
sorry.
All I'm saying.
Okay, John Marshall. You get one more of those, and then that's it. Okay, but
say what you say,
John Marshall. Hey, John Marshall, you are safe, sir.
You get
that's
one
my
more
people's right there.
You are safe, sir.
There's no
say what you said, my boy.
But
you are safe.
Yeah, I've been saying it for years that Pro Bowl they need to change that up, and I know it's.
I don't even know why that's
David Harding. You said it perfectly. The backup to the backup is the guy that gets asked the last minute to the prom, because Austin Riley is the cousin of the girl that asked him out to the prom because she couldn't go out with nobody.
Whatever.
That's what that is.
Whatever. It's hate. I understand that. It's okay.
I'm gonna say this. Also, while we're on the subject of the Pro Bowl,
mm-hmm.
there's 2 events that I think they need to go ahead and look at and get rid of. You can get rid of the Pro Bowl or revamp it or something, and get rid of the dunk contest, because I don't want to see that trash we had last year.
Oh, that was horrible. Dunk contest is completely trash.
Dunkers that can dunk and not.
If they're not going to dunk, get rid of it.
At the end of the bench,
and
stop trying to get his shine on.
And stop getting these judges that played in the thing, because they ain't doing nothing but hating on.
And get the haters out of there.
I'm like, what is this? Why you get this dude
a
7? Josh Smith. Yes, I'm talking to you, Josh Smith, because you was trash. That was horrible, and you don't do that again. And you too, Dwayne Wade. Looking at you.
Get the haters out of there, Suds, because the way they did Aaron Gordon is a travesty.
That was horrible. And the Pro Bowl, they need to take the Pro Bowl out. The bottom teams in the league need to play that, and they get the first pick. Whoever win that game get the first pick.
And speaking of the Pro Bowl, just for those that don't know, the Aloha Stadium in Hawaii has closed down.
Son of a gun.
That just happened, I think, a week or 2 ago.
I enjoyed
the Aloha Stadium
when I was in Hawaii.
Yes. When we were in Hawaii, those Pro Bowls was lit. That was when they played in the Pro Bowls.
They moved it to Miami. I met Jerry Rice there. It was amazing.
That was when they actually played in the Pro Bowl.
Right.
I literally got in the Pro Bowl party as a player.
I remember it was when T.O. and Donovan McNabb.
Have you seen yourself?
How long ago it was? Yeah. T.O. and Donovan McNabb were, and she's not in here, but Shamika Causey. We were in World's Cafe.
Say it.
T.O. came up to Tamika and was trying to holler at her.
Lord.
He didn't know who he was, or she was drunk, one or the other, probably a combination of both.
Both of
He
them.
came up to me and was like, bruh, who is this dude? Get him the hell away from me. And I look over, it's T.O. sitting there trying to holler at Mika.
Makes all types of sense. Makes all type of sense.
So what's crazy is the night that happened, I was at the front door, and the security guard was talking to me, and he thought I was a Pro Bowl player, so he gave me a Pro Bowl pass to go into the VIP. So literally me, Donovan McNabb, T.O., who else was it? It was, I forgot who was another defender. We were all talking, and they were talking to me like I played in the game.
What?
I had no clue I was U.S. Army.
Why is he saying this like he's surprised? Like he not 6'8" in 297 pounds. Jesus Lord, he didn't mess me all the way up. Look, we didn't run short on time. Before we get out of here, we gonna let y'all know next week starts our 8-week countdown to the NFL season. And in doing so, we are going to start diving deep into these divisions. So we're going to start with the NFC East next week. If you are a fan of a team in the NFC East, inbox one of us to get on the show, because we want to hear from you. We want you to talk about your team in the NFC East. We want you to go ahead and debate head-to-head with Amir, because he's an NFC East team too. So go ahead and inbox us so we can get you on the show. And we'll go ahead and talk about that. Again, we start at 6 now. We have changed the time, so it's at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. If you have nothing else, fellas, we can go ahead and get out of here.
One last thing. One useless fact. Did you know that NFL refs who ref the Super Bowl get a Super Bowl ring?
I did not know that.
Did not. I'm gonna go get my referee certification.
That's one
game.
Now it's not as jazzy as the real Super Bowl ring that they get as players.
A
But
ring
you
is
get
a
a Super
ring.
Bowl ring as a ref.
I try to get those stripes. Pop Warner was like, "You're not invited back," so I know I had no chance.
I did
Not invited back, sir. You're not invited back. Well, that's all we have today, good people. Thank y'all for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Drinks up, fellas.
We'll talk later.
7 seconds left. Tannehill will throw it, and this will end it after the shovel, or will it? Miami running around, circling. Oh, look out! Gronkowski didn't have the angle. Touchdown! Oh, Kenyon Drake! A miracle!